the ocean, enjoying myself and the Matrix. Anyway, I know I haven't made a video in a while, and I wanted to kind of touch base with you guys on criteria of being a reptilian. It's interesting that as time goes more on and more information is being shared amongst each other, we all are coming together, sharing pieces of the puzzle. So much more information is coming out regarding some of the basic criteria of not only the physicality of some of these reptilian hybrids, but their social type of behavior. And what I noticed that a lot of the hybrids, reptilians, tend to be very isolatory. When I say isolatory, they're generally very, they like to be by themselves. If they have people around them, it tends to be more of a, not a very personable relationship. They don't have close people, they more have associations. They never really, especially the males don't really have other males that they're close to. They generally just have males that they may engage with for any reason, but they generally, sorry, it's windy out here. They generally don't really kiki with males in that way. They have them as affiliates, and basically it's just males that they are in business with. They have a need to do certain things with, so that they don't appear to be so, so isolated, so solitude type in their behavior. Another thing that I noticed is that along with that isolatory type of behavior, they tend to be very narcissistic, sociopathic, very self-engaged, very absorbed with only things that are servicing self as opposed to servicing others. Even in regards to other people, even if it's family or mates, they generally only have these people in their lives to service some aspect of themselves, a need for something from these associations that they keep. Then in the mating process, generally many of these reptilians are because they're so isolatory, they generally tend to hit it and I don't want to say it like that, but they generally tend to mate and then stay maybe for some of the gestational period of time, but then they tend to move on very quickly. They have no sort of ties. There's no sort of need to rear their offspring. Generally, they have no sense of ties to their offspring. They do like the fact of perpetuating themselves, but they're not vested in actually staying to rear those seeds that they've helped to bring into reality. Another aspect of reptilians are very divisive entities. You'll notice a reptilian type of hybrid based on the fact that even engaged in conversations and things, they tend to be very divisive, meaning that if they have friendships or associations, they tend to keep people apart by pitting people together, very war-like entities. And they like for people to prove their worth to even be around them. Very, very sociopathic in that way. Another thing I noticed, a lot of the reptilians physically, they have scaly skin. And it's so interesting, I kind of just said to myself, that can't just be one of the main qualities of these reptilians, have scaly skin. But they literally have really scaly skin. They have a necessity to keep their skin very, very moist. And if not, even if it's a tad bit, the tide is coming in. Even if it's a tad bit, they're living in cooler areas. That's why they generally love to live, especially the draconians. The draconians love to live in cooler areas because they do well. But living in hotter regions, you can kind of detail them, because if they're not super, super moist and they're not moisturizing their skin, they get scales very easily on their legs or their arms or their face or their back. I mean, that's one of the physical qualities of the, we always look for the eyes and so on, but there's a lot more physical qualities of the reptilians other than their just their eyes. It's actually their actual skin itself. Very cold-blooded in that way. Another thing is they love it cool at night. They love it. They love their homes to be very, very cold and cool. That's a quality of some males that I know, but this tends to be a quality of some of these hybrids. They like the temperature in their homeostasis to be very cool, especially during the evening hours. Because they're, even though they call them warm-blooded, it's something, they call them cold-blooded, which is interesting but it's interesting, their temperatures get higher than most, so they have to keep themselves cool. I've come in contact with, I think, and I say I think because I can't definitively say for sure that what type of reptilian type of beings I've been in contact with. There's so many, and it's like saying there's humans, but there's so many different types of humans. I mean, we have humans of every type of quality. There's brown humans, white humans, humans with light hair, humans with dark hair. There's all different types. So we can't really say for sure what things are, but what I can say is that I've come in contact with some really aggressive, divisive type of reptilians, and I'm noticing that this has become a theme of their repertoire, of their behavior. Like I said, they're very divisive, they're aggressive, and these are the type of beings that can kill without flinching an eye. Murder to them is seen as a survival skill. That's why I say they're very sociopathic and isolatory. They don't mind, for survival of even their ego, they will murder someone and not have any subconscious feeling of guilt based on taking a life of another. And another quality of the ET groups, these reptilians, they're not vegetarians, they're not vegans, they're very meat-orientated people. They don't that's what I'm saying. All the ET groups, well, matter of fact, all the ET groups, I don't know of any ET groups that are totally vegetarians or vegans in practice. Most of them are flesh eaters, and primarily of human flesh, but they will consume other things. But there are those who are also, from the fairy realms, I know, we get more fruitarians from the other realms, like the interterrestrials. I've noted that some of them are fruitarian type of nutritional type of things that they do, or they eat green moss, like algae type of things, things like that. But for the most part, reptilians themselves are aggressive, and I would be mindful when you're engaging with them. Know that they're sociopaths. They have no true loyalty to anything other than themselves. They're warmongers, and they just want to create fight, flight, and fornication. And as females, just be mindful not to perpetuate this bloodline, because it can cause you problems later in the future. Anyway, all this being said, I just wanted to share this criteria. I hope all is well. I hope you guys are enjoying whatever you're doing during this time where most of you are off, enjoying your pagan holidays. But this is what I do during those times. I enjoy being in the elements. I don't really get into the whole celebratory thing. But anyway, hope all is well. I miss you guys. I love you, and peace. We'll talk later.